never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If your mother is still alive, please get out and see her before the day is over. But a busy day. Yesterday, we left the house about 8 o'clock yesterday morning, heading to wrestling show number 1 in West Union, South Carolina. And we got home last night at around 11 o'clock from show number 2 in East Denali, Georgia. So we were gone for about 15 hours. And thankfully, for all of you out there, I wear a hat in my videos. Otherwise, you would see my sunburned head because we were outside for the first show from about 9 o'clock yesterday morning until about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And I would say that I was probably sunburnt about 10:30. And it wasn't even hot. It's just I have sensitive skin, so I burn really easy. But we probably had 200 plus fans for the first show yesterday at lunchtime in West Union, South Carolina, for Wrestling for Christ. And Hot Stuff Adam Mabry even spoke during the show. We also had bouncy houses and axe throwing and food trucks and raffle drawing giveaways. We had somebody selling wrestling action figures. We had snow cones. So we had a little bit of it all yesterday for our first show, Wrestling for Christ. The only bad part about having an outside show is if it's too hot, nobody wants to sit outside. If it's too cold, nobody wants to sit outside. If it's sprinkling, nobody wants to sit outside. But then yesterday, it's 85 degrees and absolutely beautiful. So when that happens, everybody wants to go to the lake because it's too pretty to not be on a lake. So it's hard to have an outside show because people always have an excuse why they can't be there. But I would say 200 plus outside in the middle of May is not a bad crowd. And we raised a couple of $1,000s for the local bus driver who is battling cancer. All the proceeds went to her and her family. And then last night, SWA, East Denali, Georgia, we had 8 matches, and I refereed all 8 matches. So I refed 2 matches yesterday at the Wrestling for Christ show, and all 8 matches at SWA last night. So I refereed 10 matches total yesterday. SWA last night, besides just the 8 matches that we had a contract signing between Cade Powers and Yukon Adams, and Jimmy Lee lost to Scott Green last night. So coming up at the next SWA show, Jimmy Lee has to wear a dress. So I encourage you to come out to the next SWA show, which will be coming up on June the 10th at 244 Livestock Road East Denali, Georgia. So 2 great shows yesterday. And if you are curious to find out more about the Wrestling for Christ show that we had yesterday at lunchtime, I encourage you to go to greenvillesportsmedia.com. My man Jay came out to the event and he wrote an article on Greenville Sports Media about the Wrestling for Christ show. So I encourage you to go read that. And if nothing comes up, we are going to another Wrestling for Christ show in Kings Mountain, North Carolina, coming up in 2 weeks on Saturday, May 27th. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. When 2 vegans get in an argument, is it still called a beef? And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.